The tadpoles are nearly ready to leave the water and become little froglets, so today I'm going to show you how I set up a terrarium ready for that change. Welcome to Frog Watch. So I've just given the tadpoles some fish to feed on, and it looks like they were very hungry. They're very happy to get that. You should be able to see that most of these now have back legs. There's still plenty that don't, but most of them will have back legs. But there is one in here, and hopefully we'll be able to find him at some point soon, who now does have front legs as well. So that's very exciting, but that does mean that very, very soon, within the next day or so, he's going to need to come out of this tank and move into another one where you can actually leave the water. So that's what we're going to do today, is setting that up. Let's see if we can find him. Here we can see this tadpole looks very different from the rest. Both front legs have emerged and the body has changed shape dramatically. Its head has become more triangular and its body has become thinner. It still has a long tail, but that will be reabsorbed into its body over the next day or so. It doesn't fall off like some people might think. But around this time its gills will cease to function and its lungs will take over breathing. So what do we need to set up a terrarium? Well, it's very simple really. I have an aquarium exactly the same as the one that the tadpoles are in at the moment. I have a bag of bark, this will be used as the substrate, and I've got a bag of moss. Now both the bark and the moss are designed to hold in moisture, and that's exactly what the frogs are going to need. The frogs, they need to keep moist all the time. If they dry out, then they're likely to die. But they don't want too much moisture, or too much water, because then they can drown. So they need to be able to get out of the water, which is why I'm going to take them out of the tank at the moment and put them into this new one. So let's set that up now. First I add a layer of bark to the bottom of the tank to an even depth of a few centimetres. Next, I rinse the moss under some running water. Then add this to the tank in a few clumps. This moss, like the bark, will hold moisture, keeping the humidity of the tank higher, and it gives somewhere for the frogs to hide. The last thing I do is add a water dish. Although the frogs don't live in water, they can still use this dish to cool off in during hot weather, and they can drink from it. Now the tadpole isn't quite ready to leave just yet. It's going to take a day or so for it to reabsorb that tail, and then it'll be ready to leave the water. That won't take long, it may be even as quick as tomorrow. But once that tail has been reabsorbed, it will need to leave the water, otherwise it will drown very easily. So we'll need to move it out into this next tank. Now the only thing missing from this tank is a lid. So we need to add something on the top of there, because although they're not tree frogs or anything like that, these are European common frogs, not known for their climbing, but they will easily be able to escape this. They have sticky feet and they're moist, and the glass is smooth. It's quite easy for them to climb up the side of the tank and escape. I've had that happen to me before. So I have the lid for the aquarium. It's a bit of a bodge job because this is designed for fish, not for frogs. And so the lid that comes with the tank has gaps cut out of it so you can put in pumps and lights and all various electrical fittings, which obviously are just gaps for frogs to escape. So what we've done is just added some cardboard, punched some holes in to allow the air through, and that should seal up the gaps and to stop it escaping. This is what I used last year and it worked fine then, so hopefully that'll be okay this time. It doesn't look pretty, but it does the job. Over the next few weeks, more and more of our tadpoles will be ready to leave the water and move into our new tank. And that's going to open up the next chapter in the stage of our lives. And it's a real exciting time because it presents a lot of new challenges to be able to look after them properly, change of food and change of conditions, and it's going to be a really, really fun time. I really hope you're going to come back next time and join me for that one. Unfortunately, it's not quite ready to leave just yet, so we're going to have to hang on until next time. So thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.